Okay, and we're live, and we're going, and we're doing this thing, right. Hello, I'm Fenhauser, and this will be my first ever video. Today we're going to be looking at me playing a bit of Total Warhammer, which is one of my favourite games, specifically Total Warhammer 3 in this case, but the maps of all three are combined into one big game, which is pretty neat. So I'm going to be playing as the Vampire Counts, probably my all-time favourite faction, although it is a close toss-up between them and the Wood Elves. And yeah, let's just get underway then. So let's run through my early starting points. So if you've not played much Total War, it's a grand strategy game, which effectively means there is a very, very large map. And you start with a tiny little bit of it, a small army, and your goal is to kill everyone else in the map. I mean, conquer it through friendship, or whatever means is available to you. Each of the factions have got some unique traits. And mine is the fact that we are a undead. So our troops don't run away, and we have startling amount of resiliency on account of the fact that the dead keep coming back, as is the way. Excuse me. So, we will be now looking at so this is our first guide. No, this should be basically not an issue for us. So I'll just stick our heroes into the army. So heroes can be implanted in armies in a way to give them a bit of extra. Means when this army fights, these are all the units that are in the army. Those heroes will get to fight with it. So let's see what this guy's got. Now, one of the perks of the undead is I don't really care too much about my survivability. I could have fought that battle manually, but on the difficulty I'm playing, I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing this because the battles are going to be insanely difficult. I'm just doing this because I just really love playing as Vampire Counts. And I won't be losing any units there, so that is now my territory. Yeah. And that is the first settlement to fall. Now, that army is done for this turn. Even if they had a bit more movement, that's now our land. But that's not just our land, that is our land, and we get to decide how it's going to be looked after. In the early game, though, I think the answer is we want growth. Gas, 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 and all that. Let's see here. Income or control or growth. That building does not produce anything I want. Goodbye. That immediately gets upgraded. And that allows us to produce basic skeleton spearmen. It'll slow us down, but it's not the end of the world to have that building there. And our tech tree. I'm always personally a fan to, as you may have noticed earlier, growth, growth, growth. All the way, nothing but the growth. Because every settlement has a rate of growth, which is a specific fact which you can manipulate. That growth is, in this case, going to be the way I get access to higher tier troops. Now, I don't need to get access to particularly higher tier troops, because my my end goal for this is very simple. All I really need to do is get some Grave Guard, and then I'm golden. Nothing more to worry about. So, I end my turn, and once I've ended my turn, we then see what else is going to happen around us. I suspect we're going to get into a bit of a punch-up with this faction who we just took their settlement now. They shouldn't come for us immediately, because the AI isn't hyper-aggressive in this mode. Oh boy. So the first few turns, the end turn takes absolutely ages, because there's, well, as you see, there's something like 200 factions. You'll notice that that number is, even as the turn timer is going down, counting down the total number of factions. After about 20 or so turns, a large number of the factions that aren't going to make it get eliminated, which speeds us up quite a lot, but it does mean that until then, though, end turn timers take quite a while, as there's a lot of pieces on the board, so to speak. Right, now you'll notice here, we've got a little bit of opportunity in front of us. So that settlement, garrison, isn't too great. And our troops are just, by undead standards, really quite high. Like, these are relatively high tier infantry. These are really high tier knights. The Black Coach is a pretty good unit, and the Vargeists I just really love using. And we've got two heroes, which are just dramatically more powerful than basic zombies or infantry, just inherently. So, that means that we're probably stronger than most armies we're going to be facing, and at this point, most garrisons. So you'll notice that I'm also leveling people up as we go along. I'm trying to make my heroes more useful in close combat. Yes, Lab. You will be unstoppable. Now, the enemy army, to get to that settlement, has marched, which means that they've got several debuffs applied to them. So they can't recruit any units, they're going to be tired in battle, they're easier to ambush, and they can't run away. Now, not running away isn't an issue because they're in a settlement. So if you're in a settlement, normally you can't escape anywhere. You're doomed. You're going to die. It's terrible. It's awful. So, I'm going to attack that army. And I suspect this is going to be a clear win. Now, I'm going to lose the Vargeists if I do that. I'm not too fussed about losing them. But I can just wait one turn and everything will be fine. Because it's already a guaranteed victory. This is their primary army, which means if they do, they're going to have to start recruiting a brand new army. Which is not the most cost-effective decision they could make. And yes, legendary building could be useful, but I think for now I'll just take the extra money. So some settlements have unique resources in this case. So this one has gold, which is an incredibly useful resource because, you know, free money. I don't quite know why the how the undead are turning gold into dark magic to power the undead, but it's magic. It works. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, so I'm just going to put a single turn of sieging into that. Again, I probably could auto-resolve it, but... Sorry, no. Well, I could auto-resolve it, but I'd lose a unit. I could also fight it, and I'd probably also not lose anything. But, again, I'm just doing this for a bit of chill. Just want to have a little bit of fun. And battles, whilst are enjoyable, can also be a little bit stressful at times. So I just want to have nice, comfy vibes. Fine. Continue the encirclement. The undead will suffer attrition, as is the way. They haven't started recruiting another army, so this is absolutely fine. So, how are we going? Yeah, no, we need to upgrade these settlements, that's fine. So, we're not going to prioritize this one initially, because this building will only give us another benefit of tier 3, which means I need to get this thing to tier 3 before it's a benefit to me. So I'll be able to build anything new. However, if I get this one to tier 2 quickly, I'll immediately be able to get another Lich Shard, which also, funnily enough, gives me more of that sweet, sweet growth. So we're going to have the Empire begin to grow. First of all, we've got to get control of all this nice vampire territory. And then the world is our oyster. Then it's a game of who is the best person to go for. Now, at the moment, the Empire is rather divided, which does work in our favour. But that won't stay like that forever. It also appears that Dreich is on the warpath. So there's also a group of forest elves led by a particularly angry forest spirit. They've got a forest somewhere over, like, here-ish. Oh no, this could be entertaining. Right. I think my mouse curse is going to be causing cursed problems. Right, can we do this without losing a unit? God damn it, game. God damn it, game. So, there we go. And now we'll see my settlement has leveled up. How glorious for me. And now we can start putting all those additional buildings. And we've made ourselves broke. But it's fine, because we can make some more money there. Ah, my first research is done, which means I've now got a blood kiss and some more growth. Ah, look, more money! This is my favourite tech tree line. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. How are we doing for blood kisses? 2 out of 3? 2 out of 3. That's a secret tool that'll help us later. So, once again, we'll call off the turn here, because, again, my army's growing pretty reasonably, and yeah, I could be using it for other things, but this way it means I can wipe out their army, and I'm not going to lose anything in the process of wiping it out, which is a win-win for me. That Chaos Rift is giving me deep anxiety. I'm sure it'll be fine, but oh well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. Everything will be okay. There we go, 260. The grand culling of factions is continuing. And god damn it. I've wasted a lot of time here. Oh well. Now, fingers crossed, I'm relying on one of the undead faction's key tricks, which it didn't work for me. Boo. So, what they can do is a feature called the Dead Rise Again, where your dead units in battle normally, once they're dead and gone, that's a problem. But, specifically, as the undead, should your units die, that doesn't necessarily prove inconvenient to them continuing to fight for you. As a result of which, many of my units are... Yeah, there you go. The Dead Rise Again. My units heal faster and sometimes come back from the dead, which is great for extended campaigns. And yeah, the Penumbral Pendulum. So there's magic available to all my heroes, and I absolutely adore the Penumbral Pendulum. It's a really, really good spell. So I've got one of them that's going to be speccing into dealing a bit of damage, and the other one's going to be speccing into the Curse of Nehek, which is effectively AoE healing for the undead. Now, which of these do you want to go for? Cavalry Shelter Replenishment, Weapon Strength for Cavalry, Experience Gain, Research Rate, or Strigoi Gift. Now, this gift here gets less valuable the longer the game goes on. So we're going to go for it early, because obviously once this research tree is finished, that gift has no value. So, best to get that earlier rather than later. The other benefits are useful, and certainly some of them might be more immediately usable in the situations we're going to find ourselves in, but I still kind of need... ooh, look. So this is the thing. So we don't necessarily recruit like everyone else does. Once we killed you, we create battlefields, and once we created battlefields allow us to, well, recruit the undead sweat way. Yes, that's right. So having access to zombies and skeletons really does make life easier. And who is that this time? That's not Dreicher. Is that a beastman? I really hope that's not a beastman. What a name, Glock. They're probably not going to attack me for a little while again. That's difficult setting. The AI isn't super aggressive, and there goes my money. But hey, public order. To be fair, public order's a weird one for... they've got a lot of units in that place. We probably need to do some recruiting, don't we? Right, what's cheaper? Recruiting or raising the dead? Recruiting it is. Can't afford there, can't afford there. The other thing about zombies is it's instant. So, no need to wait for them to crawl out their graves. They're ready to go as soon as they wake up. Now, they're building another army again, but because with them being an undead faction, I already know what they're going to be building with an army, so what happens is they lose their army with all the decent units, at which point they then will build a full 20 stack of zombies, which is a lot of units to chew through. But zombies aren't that dangerous. You heard it from me, folks. All those movies telling you about all the dangers of zombies? No. Don't worry about it. Zombies are perfect. Oh, look, they want a peace treaty? They want a peace treaty. We're not going to give them a peace treaty. Because we want their land, and I don't get their land if I'm at peace with them. And if I then if I sign a peace treaty with them, and then we decide that we're going to become not friends, it makes life a little bit tricky for us. By which I mean, everyone has a diplomatic rating. Now, everyone starts at very high, basically, that you're not going to betray people. You're a good guy. You're generally all right to be around. People don't avoid you at parties. But if you go into a diplomatic treaty with somebody and then have the cunning decision to break that treaty, no one's going to be a fan of that, which is a slight problem. And that problem is that you suddenly have everyone around you going, I'm not sure about this guy. And then they realize how big your armies are, and then they go, this could be a problem for us, folks. So, we try to keep that high as much as possible, because if you're going to kill someone, kill them. If you're going to break a treaty with someone, break it. Now, sometimes the complex web of diplomatic alliances can result in you breaking treaties you never even intended to, but that's just the way these things come together, I guess. So, all I'm going to say is just be careful with who you sign a deal with. But if you're planning on killing them, plan to kill them from the beginning, because, well, you really don't want to make your life harder than it has to be, because it's already not particularly easy. Now, I'll just quickly take their other settlement while they're busy recruiting. Om nom 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 nom, delicious territory. Add it to the mix. You know what? Undead. So, there's no reason for me not to, when it comes to taking territory, there's a few options for how you do it. Now, normally speaking, I wouldn't worry too much about how, but we have a big benefit, which is we've got Vampiric Corruption, which is our own unique faction corruption. Now, the upside of Vampiric Corruption is that anywhere where there is Vampiric Corruption, we get loads and loads of bonuses, including a really good bonus to Public Order. Public Order means that our settlements aren't going to rebel, we're going to get better value for money, and it goes on a scale from -100 to +100. If we're at 0, that's basically average, but as you get higher, you get benefits to growth, things recruit costs, and you can see further. If you get down to minus 100, there'll be an outright rebellion as the locals try to kill you, or I guess in my case, try to survive, but... Oh yeah, that's the fun part about the vampire counts. They're not just here to, they're not just gonna, you know, kill you all and summon zombies. No, no, no. They want to rule. They recognize that they need the peasant folk for dinner, but they need the peasant folk. Which means, if these guys conquer your territory, say hello to the new blood tithe. You work for them, you bleed for them, and then you bleed for them again. It's not the best of times to have with most of your lords are literal immortal blood-sucking vampires. I think Games Workshop may have been a little bit on the nose on that one. But yeah, so this castle's going to be a problem, and based upon the size of the garrison, the number of the troops, I'm probably going to have to fight a battle eventually to get through it without losing masses of casualties. Or we can be cunning about this and make some new enemies. So these guys are going to be my enemies eventually anyway. And if they send armies at us, that means people we can kill. People we can kill means people we can raise. So I have no reason not to go for settlements like this. And we take no casualties. And why is the changeling here? It doesn't matter, the changeling is here. What the hell? Very confused. Now, all of this is good land for us, so I've got no reason not to claim it. Now, I'm not going to worry about developing this place too hard, because I'm expecting to lose it. As the Empire rallies its forces and brings its armies back from, well, wherever they are at the moment. Ah, yes. Cursed fields, because agriculture. Agriculture, and... That's right. The things the undead are well known to need. Gold, wheat, and wine. Although, I think the specific tooltip says there's a very specific sort of red in these lands. Oh, cool. This is a one province settlement, which means we get more bonuses. So let's start getting that vampiric corruption up, because vampiric corruption is the best kind of corruption. In fairness, it's the only type we've really got to make sure. All this lovely land over here with its nice greenery and nice fields. No. We don't want any of that. We want the land to die and choke. We want everything, the dead to walk the streets. Well, we want the peasant folk to walk the streets. We want the undead to stomp after them to make sure that they're doing what they're being told. A beautiful undead paradise. But we can't have too many undead. And oh, they're building a second army. Oh, they got something on them. Nice. Okay. Right. So, I think that... So, that looks like a free settlement to me. Let's just get a bit closer. Where's my... I don't want any issues. I haven't got any camp stance, but I think I'll have enough movement from there. Waldenhof. Probably not worth upgrading any of these settlements in this region, because I've got you to upgrade, and I can put a... There we go. More money. But we're not going to invest here, because again, they've got 2 armies, and I'm not super close to defend it. So there's good odds that they're going to probably try and liberate them. For their own terrifying necromantic needs, as is the way. But no, we've got... where's my turn? There we go. But I can probably take Withbad, which will be nice for me, because that gives me a nice settlement to launch into the Empire with. They've small garrison and only about, it looks like, a small army. So they'll get maybe a turn's worth of recruitment, but there's not that much they can get in a turn. And again, the army that I've got is just better quality for the most part. So I can take that, and then at some point I'm going to be far enough away that the necromancers are going to get bright ideas about going out and taking my settlements, which is great. Like this. So that's why we weren't investing in them, because we're going to lose them, but that's okay. Well, I think they took the most annoying one they could. Yeah, they did. But that's fine. This was the actual plan, so I can't be too salty. Now, I can't get back there in one turn, which is fine, so we're going to commit to this, because I can definitely do this. So, pro tip, if I'm in areas that don't have vampiric corruption, my army starts to, I was going to say die, but stop moving, which is an inconvenient problem for us. So, to counteract this issue, either I can preemptively get vampiric corruption in the places I'm going to, or I can use the raiding stance. Now, the raiding stance, it gives you a bit of money, but the most important fact is it gives you no attrition. So if you'll have to move a bit slower, but as long as you don't need to move absolutely miles into enemy territory, it'll do the job just as you need it to. Now, I'm probably going to lose the 2 minor settlements, but again, I'm not too worried because I'm not getting too much out of them at this point, and I can get this, which is a major settlement, and wipe out a faction at the same time, which is a win-win. Because the Empire, fortunately, is still in the murdering each other mode, which is the best time of the game to absolutely stomp them. And the fact is, they're still taking quite heavy casualties, considering that they're just taking regular garrisons. This is the problem of using just a army that's made of really bad units. They're just going to keep going and lose more and more and more, which works great for me. Now, we want to go into angry fighting mode, and we should be able to just take this settlement like so. There we go. And you'll notice we don't lose a single unit. It also seems I've got reinforcements, but there's not much I can do about that. They're the new lord. I'm not entirely sure how they're working yet. I also don't own them, so I can't even pretend to try and figure it out by playing them. So, I guess they're just with me now. I've got a changeling following me around, which fills me with deep fear. Yes, even more replenishment for me. All more healing. All everything. This army will be undying. But, tish. No. We've got to make sure that we get a good combination between them, as the undead are, as you might... no, it's fine. They're not going to be an issue. They're not going to be going to attack me. Shady Township. Can I afford that? Is that worth it? Yes, yes it is. So tier 3 is a pretty good starting objective to get to, because you can it gets you access to your more interesting units, and you get access to just 1 or 2 more tools to be able to deal with some problems which you're going to encounter pretty quickly. In my case, the primary benefit is the fact that I'll get access to Grave Guard, which are amazing. Yeah. Now, we don't want to go too far into the Empire, because they might start getting ideas around unifying, but taking this province is good. It also has the benefit, so I mentioned spreading undead corruption. There's lots and lots of provinces which border this province. So I believe, if memory serves, I've got a building which explicitly is designed just to spread corruption in neighbouring provinces.
A quest has been issued, mighty lord.
Quest.
A great adventure beckons.
We'll deal with that once I'm not dealing with all the other things. But it does come with nice benefits. You are correct, advisor, that it is dangerous and risky to go on a quest. Thank you. Yes. There's all these people that are dying. It's horrible, it's terrible, it's very, very sad. Now, I'm not at war with any of these people, and their relationship with me isn't too bad yet. But, which means I now have no reason not to go home for a bit. Don't think I'm trespassing anyone's terrain to get there. No. Just to play a couple more level ups. Get some corruption spreading bonuses while we're here. And from you, there's nothing wrong with having more pendulums. But I mean, not as funny as when this game released and they were just fundamentally broken. Okay, so I need Flensburg and Needling. They've changed the province structure. Deep sadness. We'll have to figure this out at some point. Now, I can get to this in 1 turn, so I have no reason not to start putting money into this place now. So, more income for me, because my word, do I need money. Vampiric corruption's going up, as it should be. And now we go back. Now, I probably can't get to Castle Templehof in 1 turn, but I can probably start catching all their armies on maneuvers, which is what we want. Taking territory to force the enemy to retake it, causing them to move their armies away from the defense. Now, I'm going to take a wild stab. This is going to be the Empire declaring war on me. Oh, I had a non-aggression pact with the Empire. What a fun day. In fairness, it's been a very long time since I've played as the vampire counts. I know they've done quite a lot of patches and changes and trying to bring them more in line with modern rages. I don't have a treaty with you, so I'm guessing this will be you declaring war on me. Yeah, there we go. Now we're at war with the Dawi. I hate fighting dwarves. Of all the factions in this game, dwarves are just... I do not like them. They are not fun. These dwarves, they're just tin cans. They just have so much armor and like the small angry dwarves. It just makes my life harder. I need to get a second army on the field. I should probably start recruiting some trash mobs. Where's Isabella von Carstein when you need her? Oh, that's fine. In that case then, we will recruit our lord that we unlocked earlier. And we will start raising a army of trash. Because you never know when quite a lot of bats might prove useful to your long-term survival. They only have so much ammo, and if enough undead make the arrows for us, the ones that we care about can manage it. Vampire armies are very much about who is the superstar today. While vampire lords are very good at making sure that they are personally terrifying, they're not always surrounded by the best troops, which is why the undead are like they're a slow start to this. They want to take my primary settlement. We cannot allow that. Right, so we come out of that and we start moving over here at a rate of 1,000 miles an hour. Right, so as long as the settlement won't fall this turn, although, to be fair, when they do stuff like this, there's always a chance that they've made a terrible decision. No, they have not. Well, could I fight that? I've got a Vargolf, I might be able to fight that. No. Right, as long as they don't attack me this turn, Vlad should be able to get in range to stop them taking it. If they take the settlement, then this will be a very short video as I go back to the drawing board. I'm hoping not, though. I've got deep faith in my ability to save my own settlement? Question mark. All these full stacks everywhere. I do not like this, not one bit. But it's fine, we got some more territory out to the side. Losing the settlement, though, would be really inconvenient. And yeah, there we go. They realised that being here was a bad idea. Now, I have new territory I can take. That's Dwarven territory. I still don't want a peace treaty with you, my friend, though. Amazing. And I don't lose a single unit. Even better. Good, they attack, and that was them attacking me. Now, because they're undead, their armies are still alive. Because that's how the undead work. And I want to retake some territory, so I'll retake this territory. I lost some ghouls. How terrible. But this is now mine, again. And so is my province. Yay. Okay. So, I didn't even take any attrition here. That works in my favour. They're using the same trick I did to not take any attrition. How dare they? How dare they use my own tricks against me? That looks healthy to me. Recruit a couple of the better units available to my faction. And yes, more trash, more zombies. Our economy is, well, early game economy for the vampires is deep sadness, deep sadness. But eventually it's exactly what we need. So I'll bear with it for now. It's just the early game. The early game is a painful experience. You don't have enough money and you're constantly trying to find the opening that allows you to get by using slightly less power than everyone else. Because if you find that opening, you're in the money. Everything's going to work out. You've got access to all the resources you need, everything. It's just a case of getting there. So that army is not particularly scary. That army is not particularly scary, but that garrison is a little bit scary. But my army now, once it's had a turn of recruitment and is at full strength, should probably be able to take Tempelhof. Because once that's done, the rest of their army will fall nice and quickly. This is now a large enough garrison that those dwarves can't take it. So they're probably going to try and take. They're probably going to take Schwarzhofen, which is going to be inconvenient for me. But even then, Schwarzhofen hasn't got an insignificant garrison, and these aren't quite guaranteed amazing units. Now we're gonna control will come right. So that's got a big negative on it at the moment, but that'll disappear next turn because that's a conquest instability. And then there's another 10. But you'll notice that that's minus 40, and we're still going to be in the positive just because of all the bonuses we get from being vampires, and this is vampire territory. So. For now, let's go for trying to get a bit of an eco lead. So 5% extra money from everything it's something. It's more than we have. And right now, I need a lot. I need more money. Normally I just make my money by just sacking their settlements, but nobody's developed their settlements enough. I can't make any money from sacking anyone's territory. Oh, woe is me. How terrible it is. I can't just rob people for all the money I need. The dwarves having 2 stacks, though, is really a spicy start to this. Let's see. Are they going to move to... Yeah, there we go. Schwarzhofen. Are they going to take it, though? That's the question. Oh my god, that actually works in our favour. So, armies that are in settlements... So yeah, it's inconvenient for me to lose the settlement because it's just always inconvenient for them. But...
King of Darkness.
Sometimes the AI does confusing things. Like... leaving their province capital undefended in range of an army that can take it in one turn with no casualties. And like that, everything is fine. We have no more issues. Both of those armies are going to die very quickly. Whatever they're recruiting isn't going to work because they are not in... That's just not going to work anymore. They have 1 minor settlement left, so that's going to clear up the side of the map almost instantly. So now, we finish recruiting over here. And we move there. Now, how are we...
I'll be all powerful. Drag them to our
might not be able to guarantee a battle, but at least I can pretend to hide my army. Who's leveled up in your army? Okay, we've got some more Vlab. Have you... Where have all your unique abilities gone? You're absolutely amazing. Oh, have they taken out your absolutely busted abilities? I think they have taken out your busted abilities. That's quite honest. Oh, no. They've just locked it to rank 12 like everyone else. So, this ability here, Cloud of Horrors, you used to be able to get that at like rank 3 or 4, which meant you could just outrange and just sprint around the map, and it was absolutely amazing just playing as sort of like this lord that could move like half the map. You cannot run from him, you cannot hide, there is no escape. They were excellent. This is our new legendary hero, again with some useful spells. Wind of Death, yeah. Okay. Aha, yay, my settlement leveled up again. Right, what can we do to make more money here? Very little, because we're poor. Also because, for some reason, they decided to tie a portion of vampire counts in... I say for some reason. Balance. Balance is the reason. So other factions, they have income buildings and they have recruitment buildings. For the vampires, they have both. So my higher end recruitment buildings over here tend to come with quite a lot of additional bonuses, so I want to get them built as well. So, yep, that's another problem for later. Grumble, grumble, grumble. This is fine, but now this is a tier 3 settlement, so I want to build this thing up as soon as possible. Because the benefits you get... I don't need this yet. Because the benefits you get from Graveguard is just... They are relatively cost effective. They're just good infantry, and they just do what you need them to do. So, my early game plan... I say early game, my stabilization plan to try and make sure that this doesn't just turn into an absolute problem So we'll finish off these necromancers and try not to start any war with the tree people to the north. But they seem like they've got their own problems. Plus, I don't live in a forest, and I'm not in any of the forests that are relevant for them. So I think as long as I don't start the war, we'll be fine. Now, you can tell it's going badly for them because they're in march stance. Now, I should be able to take this settlement, and that means that army's going to have to attack me next turn, which is going to suck for them because they're not going to be able to do anything. And there we go. Now, I could turn them into a vassal, but no, I want the land. Yes, I could allow you to continue to exist, but that's not the goal. No. The goal here is we want land. As a Brit, it's in my genes. We want all the territory, all the land. It will be ours to control. Do with as we will. Right, I will... If I move you to... Yes, you can take that territory. Good. Because I don't think that Dwarven army, after suffering attrition, is going to be able to do a great job of... Yeah, that garrison was not a threat. Yeah, now that is ours. Good.
They will serve.
Now, get some more gold. We can get some more... Well, that's more growth for now. We need money first. So, such a massive increase. I don't need that. Nope. Oh, excuse me, bad sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. better than blowing your eardrums out. Unless you like that, in which case I'm not going to judge, but I'm not going to be here to do it. Right, yeah, so that will get dealt with. He says check it. Let's check his garrison before he says that. Okay, they might even if they take that settlement, I'm not investing masses in it. Let's just not repair that just for now, just to be safe. And I will continue upgrading Vlad because Vlad is my boy and he's just really good at this stuff. Alright, we'll save a bit of money because we don't need it for much else. And again, income from more buildings. Money! Gods above, do we need money? Now, over here, what we're going to do is dismantle that building. And we're going to not upgrade it just yet, but here we are. And commandment available. Yes, we want public order for now because I can't be around to make sure you guys stay under control. Okie dokie. Right. As long as I can deal with those dwarves before they take any more of my territory again, I think you should be in the clear here. Those vampires are going to stop existing relatively shortly, he says optimistically. At the very least, they have to attack my settlement this turn. Which means that either they're going to take it or they're going to die. And I'm hoping for the second option. But even if they take it, it's fine, because I can go back and deal with them. It just slows me down by a turn. I think this is going to be them asking for a peace treaty. Yep. I wonder if that'll... No, yeah. So they attacked me, which means that I can... So if you declare war on someone, and then sue for peace, sort of like... Oh, good lord, where are we going? Help! Ah, yes. I've got to go all the way across the map to do all my quests. Back in the old days, the best part was you couldn't even teleport. You just had to go and actually wander over there, which, cool narratively, was not so cool for other reasons. Right. Do we want to attack Carrot Cadrin? Can we take this? Yes. Now, I'm going to take this because I want to wipe these guys out before they get a chance to get going. Because they are the worst. And I will... not elaborate. Ah, Pyrrhic victory. You mean a standard battle. There we go. And that's the capital city taken. Which means everything they've got behind it is now going to be having a real bad day. Get rid of that. We can do a bit of repairs there. And, like everywhere else, money. That's being upgraded. That's being upgraded. That's probably worth holding off for now. Any of these that we care to get. I'm not going to use any of those for now. Not going to use that for now. There we go. That's what we wanted. The most important building. And pre-build Schwarzhofen after the incident. More research. What we got? More money from Vengeful Spirits or more allegiance points gained? Well, that's the progress tech. which is technically useful. Let's see here. Is there anything we want to brush towards there? I don't think so. So let's start working towards making our graveguard better. So it's times like this where that initial 25% research rate is really helpful for just getting started. It gets a lot of your early tech out of the way, and that is incredibly helpful. So the purpose of this army is to try. And how are we doing this? So vampiric corruption in this region is okay. Why is that going up quite so much? What do you mean adjacent provinces? Which province is doing it? Oh, it's here, isn't it? I can't even afford to do it. Right, one moment. I need to get rid of the deceiver. What can I afford to not worry about? There we go. Be gone! Grumble, grumble, grumble. They're following my army. I guess I should have seen this coming, to be fair.
Darkness comes.
Well, great. Now I've got two things to worry about underneath my city. Skaven and Tzeentch cultists. I think that they should have a competition to work out whose is worse, because none of those are good options. In fact, I'd argue that they're all awful in their own unique and special ways. Yeah, you haven't even seen the majority. This has been like the most vanilla playthrough so far. I've not even bumped into the particularly nasty factions. You've just got so far humans and dwarves while fighting them as vampires. Because let's face it, the Warhammer has a wide variety of races which you can just get stuck in with. I think probably the realization is, I'm actually very basic. I'm a big fan of the vampire counts, which are basically just undead guys, but they've got lots and lots of bats everywhere. And the wood elves, which are elves, but just feral. Absolutely just feral elves, which is my favorite elven aesthetic. But in addition to being feral, they also have like trees and forest dragons and zotes. God, zotes are a deep, deep pull on the lore. Right, so we're gonna move up here. Well, we'll say we're taking some casualties, but none of these units that have taken casualties I'm particularly worried about. So much so, I'm in fact going to just...
I am unstoppable.
Because I can probably just... yeah, I can just... Oh look, I'm back at full strength. Probably could have replaced them with slightly better units, but at this point I'm not really in a competition for the quality of my units.
The scent of death is strong.
Oh, there they are. Suffering attrition every turn. I don't think they're going to be able to take that settlement, but
You dare.
if they do, they can have it. They're welcome to it. I haven't dramatically I haven't really invested there. They're free to have the times they want. Okay, so I'm not even getting rid of it passively at this point. That's concerning. It's fine. Corruption is a perfectly reasonable thing to manage. Screaming externally. Oh boy. But yeah, so I think... So I can take... So the reason I'm taking out the Slayer King early is the Dwarven late game is irritating, and the Dwarven Slayer late game is even more irritating. That's a lot of not dwarves, orcs. That's Azag the Slaughterer. Yay! That's the Greenskins, the Orcs. They will declare war on people just for existing. Now, that means I really need to make sure I take this settlement this turn, because they're not at war with me, which means that they shouldn't immediately turn around and punch me to take it off me. But I don't hold out hope for them not doing that, so... They're also on my to kill very soon list, so... There we go. That's more territory for us. There we go. And now they are in a bad place. So fingers crossed they'll leave. As they'll realise that we sent them a strongly worded letter and have informed them that we no longer wish for them to be in our territory. I could give them the command, which... So, it used to be that if you had a peace treaty with somebody and they decided they wanted to be in your territory, and they were just raiding you, you couldn't actually do anything to them without reducing your own... I mentioned that diplomatic reliability rating. You could end up with a situation where you'd have enemies that didn't like you just raiding your territory, but because you've recently signed a peace treaty with them, if you attack the army that's currently raiding your settlement, you lose points in terms of your in terms of reliability. So they added a function where now you can politely tell enemy armies that are in your territory to leave, and if they don't listen to you after one turn, you can then declare on them, and there's no negative repercussions for attacking them. Which is a, well, other than the fact you're having to fight them, but other than that, it is a significant improvement over just having to watch them and be like, well, I really would like you to stop just like, you know, roaming the countryside and robbing everything that isn't nailed down, but I guess I had a peace treaty with you, so I guess this is what peace looks like. Okay, right, so we've now started the war with, so I should be in range next turn to deal with Zelig. And then I can deal with these few settlements over here, which gives a nice little province. And I should be able to wipe out what's left of these dwarves over here. And, you know, I'll tell them to leave. I'm sure they will. Right. Fingers crossed. This should all come together neatly and cleanly now. And I've definitely calculated everything, and I know exactly what I'm doing, and this is all perfectly coordinated. Yep, I know what I'm doing. This is going to be fine. You're right, it's points like this, like turns like this where I'm like, okay, the other games are a bit slow and you're just getting around with things, but like, it's the point like this where I'm like, okay, as long as everyone listens to all the things I'm saying, it should be okay. Okay, Azag's not quite, well, he's sort of left, he's just continued to go the other direction, which is, that's its own problem. Right, can I get past them? Technically, no. Okay, right. So that, yeah, there's the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait. We're going to use a very high level tactic called waiting a turn. So if Azag fights Ungrim, they should be weakened as a result of that fight. Or Ungrim will beat them, and Ungrim will be weakened as a result of that fight. Either way, we can then charge in afterwards, see whoever it is, and beat them up. And yay, I'm starting to get an actual income. Right, there we go. So, need you to move, there we go, right to the edge of your reinforcement range. Yes, you get in, and now you die. And your army is kaput. So I go and sit there to make sure I recover my reinforcements. Continue to upgrade replenishment because, so the main perk of the undead is you just really can't keep them down. So in this case, we're going to be taking as much of an advantage of that as we can, and more money and more money. And I'm now starting to get to the point where my income is starting to almost look like a reasonable value. I still need a few turns to really let it settle in, so once you start getting a positive income and a few settlements that, because there are things that I can be building in all of these settlements at the moment. So I need just a big upfront cash influx. So for now it's just going to be putting as much money as I can to increase my income. And trying to get as far as I can without having to put too much more into my armies. So speaking of money, even more money. I could be going to go for some trade deals, but I'm going to take a wild stab looking at this. If I look at, so this is the who can you get a quick deal with.
Attention. I have wars to fight.
Give me money as well as in return for this. Thank you for your custom.
Of ice.
They'll want money from me for the deal. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, to be fair, I have no reason not to, I think, be friendly with Kislev, because it's now a nice perk, actually, that I always used to feel like I was going to have a bad time after beating the Empire. So, from the north, we have Chaos, and eventually, that's a problem. I mean, there's lots of different things, but that is a problem. And the Empire served as my bulwark against that, but now Kislev exists, which means that I can punch the Empire all I want, and as long as they don't get too friendly with the Empire, That works in my favor. I can basically just be like, yeah, cool, I've beaten up the Empire, but like, Kislev, no, Kislev are going to stand against the Chaos Hordes, I hope. Or whatever will happen in my last game, which is where the Kislev just seemed to be surviving on like one settlement, and the Empire was just, why is Evelyn destroyed? These are interesting questions, which I don't like the potential answers to. Yeah, just move around to here, and Ungrim's there. That's not a super scary army, nor is that. Why did they not? How did they take no casualties in that? That's genuinely impressive. Total War AI, why do you not always follow the same rules as the rest of us? And mine. Come on, you guys can only run away so many times. I should be able to chase you down now. There we go. And cadet. Nom 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 nom. Delicious, delicious souls. Now, reading the writing on the wall here, I don't think I can fight that army, and I'm also not going to be healing at the moment where I am, so we're going to run away. Boldly brave Sir Robin boldly ran away. And there we go. Now, what we can do is, because I mentioned, these are all really, really cheap units. So, we will merge the ones we've got already.
Bats and wolves.
And we'll get some new ones to fill the gaps. As is the way. Anything else you want to put in there? Why not more zombies? There we go. And like that, the army's back at full strength. A bit more healing for the army. Yes, yes, yes. That is the way. Our income is now starting to look really, really tasty. This is what we want to see. And no, don't need that just yet. Let's start getting these minor settlements upgraded. Let's start getting you upgraded with growth to make sure we can hit the higher tiers. And that's about all the money we've got to spend for now. Right, let's see how this goes. Oh, I've got a what do you call them? A blood kiss to use next turn, and I think. So now I've got the research bonus. I could try to go for the second tier of it to give myself a bigger global bonus, but I am going to go for that sweet, sweet, sweet casualty replenishment rate because, yeah, we need it. Boy, do I need it. Also, those orcs are making my life really simple. And hi, Drycher. Yep, free settlement for you. That's fine. I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, that's fair enough. I knew this was coming. It's inconvenient. It's just... Although it does mean that you're now over there. My main army's elsewhere, but that's fine. Now, this is a free settlement for me because the orcs just took it for me. So this is mine now, as is the way. Yoink. Now, the funny part is, as I'm doing this, I'm gradually going to be increasing vampiric corruption, hopefully. Which means that eventually those orcs are just going to start taking attrition just for being here. Attrition being them just slowly losing casualties, which means that this is going to be a... there is a limited lifespan on how long they can be a problem for. Because eventually, they're going to not be replenishing quite as much. To say that, they've got the in-camp stance. Ah, yes, a genius tactical decision there from Ungrim. Although, based on the fact that he's currently raiding the regular dwarves in an attempt to do this... I have a white... Oh, no, no, there's... no, he's not raiding. Fair enough. No, that's the... That's... Azag. Azag being a problem. As is his nature. The army is doing fine. Should probably get you out of march stance, though. I'll move you around there, because then you've got easy access to move between these three settlements. There we go. Now, spend those blood kisses. I want that extra 10% casualty replenishment. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. If I'm going to be fighting battles where I lose half my armies every time, I'd like to be able to recruit them half my army back every turn. That's just maths. So, right, yeah. So, Azag's going to keep stomping Ungrim, which works great for me. He says. Although I really want Ungram to like take out at least one of their armies. Or just run away. That works for me too. And... oh, they have another army. Are they going to occupy a settlement? Yeah, they are. Okay, we can make this work. We can make this work. Wait, do they have 3 armies? I may have taken a miscalculated risk here. We'll see. Okay, so I think they've taken out one of their armies. At the very least, they're going in a different direction. Yes, there's Ungram, who's about to be homeless very soon. How terrible for him. Oh, I know, it's a legendary hero, not an army. Cool. That's Dreicher, though. Dreicher's army is a little bit too spicy for this army to handle. But I think I'm sure I can handle this one, though. Well, in that case, then, I will get ready to run away. This is a problem. They appear to have reasonably high quality troops, which means I can't just handle them with trash. So do you know what we need? That's right. An actual army, an actual legitimate army. So, now, we start recruiting Graveguard, because Graveguard are amazing, and I really just love using them. So, I've got a decent income, which means I should be able to. So they should go for the moot, which is fine, because they'll go for the nearest settlement. Now, they shouldn't be able to take Fort Obstia with that army garrisoned in it, so that army on Needling will probably have to go around the long way if they want to attack me. So my main army is hopefully going to be done with the dwarves and the orcs relatively soon, but we shall see. Or we're going to have to fight Dreicher. With both armies coming into one settlement. Do we take the risk? Do we take the loss? Can we win this? They're not doing much in the way of ranged firepower, so it's going to be a slugfest, but... right, we'll throw it on a quick save and we'll give it a go. What's the terrain look like? Okay, we might be able to make this work. So, this is going to be a little bit of a spicy one. The odds probably aren't in our favour, and if our Necromancer goes down early, then it is game over. I don't think I have a way of dealing with that big tree man, so this is going to be interesting. This is also probably not going to be the most exciting battle, so the undead aren't particular. Well, no. Higher tier undead are quite good for the way they can let you adjust and play around with them. Lower tier undead, though, well, there's a particular way to make best use of our particular traits and capabilities, let's say. By which I mean, if you form all your units into just a really big brick, it does a really good job of being A, really hard to kill, and B, it does a really good job of allowing you to maximize the benefits that you get from the leadership. Because what I need to do at all costs is keep my Necromancer alive, because if he goes down, this all fails. Now, the bright side is the army doesn't have... it's quite tough, but it doesn't have loads in the way of damage dealers. Like, the Treeman's a problem, and I don't think I have a good counter to it, other than just massed troops. The Dryads are alright. They're reasonably tough, and they deal enough damage. So this isn't... and they are all a little bit experienced, so this isn't going to be a nice fight in any stretch of the imagination. But it is one I think we can take with just a little bit of playing it smart. So, we begin building the brick. We have our Necromancer at the center of the brick, as is their right. And then, I'm going to have you guys interspersed through the zombies, because we need a bit of anti-large in there. We're going to have you guys over here, because bats. Dogs. And I'll have you around here to do some flanking later. And now, we continue to build the brick. So, some more zombies around the back there. And then we get some Skelebros. And these guys, I believe, have shields. So they've got a slight missile block chance. I don't think the elves will be throwing now. Again, we want to intersperse these guys into the ranks because, again, they have, how do you say, but they have poison attacks, which means they can debuff the enemy just by tapping them once or twice. And we'll set the back up with just, you guys should do it fine. Behold, my beauty, the brick. All they need to do is hold position and survive. Right. And as long as this works, which it usually does. Old school tactics, these. What spells have we got? Spirit Leech and Invocation of the Heck. Aha, there's the important ones. Why am I already taking damage? This fills me with deep sadness. There we go. Come on, Dretcher. Charge into the mess. Send, fuck it, yes, send the bats in. The bats. The bats should die pretty quickly if they do this right. Oh, they have hawks as well. Why are hawks? Dreich's army could just be summed up as, and then we took all the forest creatures we could find and decided to send them. All those memes about Disney getting angry. Well, this is what happens when the Disney princesses get angry. We send all the creatures of the forest to fight you. Yep, that's gonna hurt, but they'll run out of Winds of Magic eventually. Okay, so we go into the woods and we hide, as is our right. And then we turn around and charge them ourselves. Good, good, good. How are these bats doing? Very little, as they should be. Okie dokie. And the other benefit is, if we do it this way, even if we don't do amazingly well with our actual survivability, the main thing is getting as many casualties as possible. We don't want, we can't, even if we can't win this, if I can just at least cause them to suffer, that will be a victory for us. And they're broken. Good. Well, not broken, but they're running away. Because once we get airborne superiority, we can start doing some of the fun tricks. But, yeah, yep, cool, that's fine. Keep pelting me with magic. There's a reason I'm in this formation. We are here to survive. Yes, Invocation of the Heck still having to... they keep using their abilities to make my... Run over here, come on, you're undead, you don't feel fear. That's the other benefit. My units, the reason why this brick is also particularly fun is my units won't run. Enemy units, oh yes, they will run and they will rout away, but the undead, they will just keep fighting. Which is great sometimes. And we're now trying to make as much out of that as possible. So now, having seen this going down like this, I'm going to send my ridiculously large class. So normally elves would have quite a lot in the way of, what's the word I'm looking for? So these bats are probably going to be getting the most kills for me in this battle as my flying cavalry. I'm going to be just bombing them onto one unit at a time in an attempt to try and inflict just some casualties and then not get pinned down in the fight, because at the end of the day, they're big bats. They're not the best fighters. Got to make sure we keep periodically healing units just to try and keep the line going strong. So that unit is gone, which is useful for us. So we pull the bats out so they don't get pinned down fighting something we don't want them fighting. And then we go over here and go... I think we can probably get a rear charge here. These guys might have a bad day. Oh, they've got their own cave bats. Cool, attack the cave bats. Why not? We need superior numbers. Do they have any heroes in there? Yeah, we do. Bit of damage on there, as you do. Come on, cave bats. I don't think we're attacking them anymore. Right. Let's pull you guys out. Send 2 of you guys to deal with that, and then the rest of y'all, I'm going to send you around here. Let's start using the brick to our advantage. A little bit of maneuvering. You need to get back a bit. Don't have you die. You're the most important person here. And you are going to go after those guys. Dryads having actual armor is deep sadness. And go after them. Good, good, good. There we go. It's a little bit of something. Okay. Probably not going to win this one, but that's fine. We won't always. You're not going to win every battle. That's the whole point of the campaign. Oh my god, isn't spiders as well? I wish the undead got access to some sort of spider-based unit. It feels right, you know? I feel like we should be all buddies or something. How's my necromancer doing? Yeah, you know, got much of their magic used to stay alive, so we can get as much damage on these. The other thing about the undead is when they lose, they tend to lose badly. We tend to just lose everything. Get these guys out there so we can try and get a bit more value out of them. But nope, there we go. And army losses have kicked in, so now everyone is going to explode. But honestly, understandable. It was never a battle that was going to go well for us. But what matters is how many casualties we managed to deal. Okay, so a lot of that was just trash units in the garrison. So it hurts, but that lord is immortal, so I shouldn't lose them. Those were the only units that were actually valuable in that army that aren't easy to replace. And they took, they took enough casualties to make that worth it, I think. They've still got, let's say, they've still got the core of their forces, so we're not in the clear yet. But we've got some work ahead of us, I think. We can pull this together. Yeah. I prefer to do it, let's say, the normal bomb is I'd get that, and then I'd get some good old-fashioned Vargeists, which are like giant bats. I think the lore-wise, they're actual vampires, but these ones are just really big bats. And if things were going well, they would just be cycle charging into the back, breaking units, causing terror. Well, that did not happen this time. But we did manage to deal with, like, weaken quite a lot of their units. We didn't get through many of the armored targets, which is what I was expecting. So if I can just pick off all of the, like, lightly armored units, it means that eventually when I come in with my much better units, I can use them to try and deal with those issues as best I can, I think. So we're going to hope for the best on this. There's no guarantees that this is all going to come together, but I'm going to... Oh, they got some really big kills on those dryads. I've never seen dryads get so many kills. It's fine. Graveguard should handle all of these sorts of things. Whether I need the armored variants or whatever. It's just I guess Dritra is going to be next on the time to be eradicated list. So we'll deal with the dwarves, TM, because they're nearly dealt with. I'll try not to start a war with Azag, but if I do and lose the territory to Azag, that's not the end of the world. Inconvenient, but not the end of the world. And like I can use that as I can just retake that territory. It's fine. It's not critical to whether I win or lose. But if Drycha gets properly into my settlements, which I've just started upgrading, it'll be really inconvenient for me. On the bright side, it still free up a load of cash though, so it means I'm going to have a bit more money next turn to try and put an army together. But it's fine, as long as people keep dying, that means more troops, and as long as I have more troops, that means I can eventually just overwhelm them through sheer force of tides of the dead. Still sucks that we lost though. Probably was a winnable battle somewhere along the lines, or maybe not, I'm not sure. Sometimes the enemy army just dramatically outclasses you, and again, I could probably, but it's here for cozy vibes, yeah? We're not here for a big, difficult fight. We're here for just having a relaxed time. So I'll fight the battles I need to, but for now we're just gonna see if we can get by. Panic, panic, panic. Just flanging here in a basic attempt to assuage my own softened ego. Although this has been I've had better starts. There was one point where I was doing sort of like starts on like old patches where literally I had no sort of like over the first 10 turns, do this, this enemy will move here, this enemy will move here, and I was so familiar with it that I'd literally be like, cool, right, if I do this, they will move this, they'll behave in this way, right, I've taken the first few territories. I think the AI is slightly less predictable these days, which is not great, but it's what it is. It's just, it's just how time goes on and just how they get smarter. And there we go. Okay, they lost some troops, that's fine. That's a lot of bodies to try and get. Oh, they didn't take the territory. That is very useful and very unexpected. So my boy is going to move around here. So if they attack him, that'll be a problem for me, but that's a problem. So we'll worry about that then. But that does mean I get another turn's worth of recruitment. And some more of the boys. And I got some of you. You guys performed reasonably well. Right, so that settlement has walls. They should be able to launch a siege battle immediately, but I don't think they can take it with just those. Drycha might, but Drycha lets you go in different directions. So they want the Moot and then Schwarzman. So, fingers crossed, they try and go for either Eschen or Waldenhof, which is one problem. Now, let's see how Vlad's doing. Oh look, dwarves. Can I beat that dwarven army? Yes, I can. And dead. As we needed. Good. Which means they've now got no hope of coming back, and the orcs are 100% going to take them out, which is great. What do we get? Oh, and we got free money for it as well. Even better. So we're going to stay here. Because we need to make sure that my army can actually be at a reasonable strength to be able to fight this, because otherwise this is going to go badly. So let's start with the important healing spells. Replenish troops, because again, replenishment is never not valuable. Invocation of the Heck, yep, we'll upgrade that to the next tier. Yes, I could have gone Arcane Conduit, but for now that's more useful for me. No point repairing that, because they could just take it again. Castle Drakenhof, what have we got? Bit of money? Nah, it's fine. Any dead we want to raise? Free instant units, I'll have those. Who else can we have here? Dogs didn't perform too well, but the flyers were alright. There we go. I think that should do us for now. Let's see what they come up with. The question, so probably going to lose the Moot. Now the question is, what do they do with that other legendary lord? Stroke legendary hero, stroke problem. It's a hell of a turn to see how it goes. Please let it come together. Please let it come together. Yeah, that was expected. Feral bears. What a fun army. Yeah, there we go. Take one of my northern settlements. That's fine, but they're not taking any of this. They're just... I'm moderately confused by this, but I'm not angry. It does work out in my favour in the end. So, can I get back to them? Not quite this turn. Alright.
Destruction.
So I'll just move towards you. Hello, 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 friends. We're here to become new best friends. And I am here to raise the dead. Oh, good. Some nice, useful units there. And how's Vlad doing? Vlad's having the time of his life. Oh, what sort of attrition are they taking? Oh, they're in taking vampire tradition. Have we got the attrition to that level yet?
No time for
Oh, I guess we have. Okay, so
King of Darkness.
I guess, do I trust Azak to finish this, or do I start a new war? Probably best not to start a new war. Probably best. I mean, theoretically.
If you think it is
Yeah.
wise,
But I can't guarantee that they'll actually take that settlement out,
to my will,
so I need to wait.
the world will drown in blood.
We can at least do it this way, can't we?
No undeath. I
There
know
we go.
my path.
That I was replenishing at a good rate, that's all fine. But, is it worth repairing you yet? Where's Drych? Oh, Drych has pulled back. Okay, they've decided that they've done enough damage. So if we can take out, in that case then, Waltenhof, we will repair you, because I don't think they're going to go straight for you again. Let's see, where are they going to go here? And I'm holding out for the best here. There's no guarantee, but depends where Isrit goes. They could... Like, if they attack into the settlement, I get to kill their army, so that's a benefit to me. No, I don't wish to intercept them. I wish to retreat and fight this on my terms. Yep, that's fine. So now... Yeah, now you're in world routes, which means... I can make this work. I can make this work. I hope.
I will alone.
Yeah, because now I should be able to take a fight with them on my own terms. Which is going to mean they should run away. Now, movement range for Drycha is pretty reasonable.
Seas of blood.
So I'm going to move a bit further just to make it so that there's no way they can have... Now, they could keep hitting settlements, which is... Well, I'm going to say it's fine. It's not actually fine, but it's what it is. Okay, I'm going to move around here so that if needs be I can get back into range pretty quickly. But I think we're going to have a break and call it here for now. So we've gone through the first few turns. We've got a problem or two, but we've got territory that we can use to make up for that. So we just need to recover from this, recycle and get going. So see you in what will hopefully be part 2.